Oh my god. Alright, that's just really nasty. Now we will remove the other reach blocker. Oh, baby! Yes, please. Hello everyone and welcome. I'm Lenny and you're watching Lenny TV. Man, today I have Alela, the fairy queen for you. And just a primer on what you're getting into. I have built a really greedy list that is focusing on abusing her synergistic sides of things and even tossing in some of my pet cards. So this is not an optimized list. This is not the strongest list there could be. I don't know what's the strongest list. But I tell you something, or one thing. I can promise you one thing. If this deck works, this deck makes a ton of fun. It is a blast to play, and it is really strong, and it snowballs out of control like crazy. So if you like that, it's pretty well rounded. It's not all in on just synergy. It's a well-rounded deck, but it's focused on synergistic parts. So yeah, now you know what you're getting into. This time around, I have a little bit more to say about this deck, so the deck explanation will be quite long. But yeah, I love this deck. I loved brewing and building it. I love playing it. I love snowballing with it. I just love this goddamn deck. It's awesome. So without further ado, let's get right into the deck explanation right now. Alright guys, we're in the deck builder, and as always, we have this awesome deck to explain. And this one is actually really all in. I've built this deck kind of greedy. Just so you know, this is not an optimized list. This is a really greedy list focused on a lot of synergies that this commander can create with other cards, enchantments and artifacts, and creating flyers, and then making those flyers indestructible or big angels, flood the board, copy Sephara, copy your commander, create even more value, escalate out of hand in such a fashion that the opponent really has no way to come back. And if you fail to get that, this deck can really fall apart quickly. Either you get rushed by aggression, or you die in some other ways, like your opponent mills your deck, for example. Yeah, anyways, now you know what you're getting yourself into if you want to play this deck. This is the list. So we have some enchantments that protect our commander in the form of Kaya's Ghost Form, which is actually a card that I'm experimenting with. Maybe you could put another card here, but I have it in here for maximum synergy. Then an enchantment, which is also really good against greedy lists like Nicol Bolas. I hate that commander. So it's Orkiora, actually increasing the costs of activating, or actually a lot of planeswalkers in general. This card is really strong against it, and it has extra synergy, so count me in. Let's put it in the deck. This card is actually a card I'm experimenting with. It's in here because of the synergy. It's an enchantment, and it creates 2/2 tokens. Both of those things are supposed to be really good in my deck. Why? Well, because it's an enchantment, it has synergy with my commander. But also, if we exile an enchantment for some reason when it's in the graveyard, we can then create a 2/2 zombie token. And you might say, well, that's not really worth it. But man, if you have Divine Visitation on the field, exiling an enchantment for a 4/4 Vigilant Flying Angel is worth it. So, really good card actually. Or it should be a really good card in theory. We have some counter spells in the form of Disdainful Stroke, Mystical Dispute, Tails, and Dovin's Veto. All of these cards are the most greediest counter spells you can run, and they can win you the game, or they can lose you the game because the opponent later down the line might be able to pay the free, or actually is playing a spell you cannot counter with Tails End. Yeah, it's really greedy, but this deck is all in and focused on a quick win. So yeah, we run the greedy stuff. We have some form of removal. We have actually really strong single target removal in the form of Frogify, Kasmina's Transmutation. which is one of the best spells to remove threats from the opponent, and it's also really good to disable our own commander. But luckily we can sacrifice her with Doom Foretold or Liliana to get her back into the command zone to get rid of the really pesky transformation. So we have not lost against the transmutation either into a frog or this other frog here. We can outlive that and get our commander back into the command zone. Red Hot Invasion is just amazing if you have Divine Visitation on the field, because it creates 4/4 flying angels every single upkeep. And we have some artifacts in the form of Arcane Signet, Golden Egg, and Guild Globe. Both of these cards draw a card when they enter, so they are basically cantrips that cost 2 mana or 2 mana card draw spells that can also synergize and create a flyer. We want a lot of flyers because we want to drop Sephara later down the line, then copy her, have her indestructible. Our board is indestructible. We can copy Alela to have even more crazy synergy. So yeah, this is just insane. Yeah, let's get to the free drop slot. Enchantment removal, single target. We have a lot of single target removal, and we have now even more. Tutor for Divine Visitation or any other enchantment you would like to have in your hand. Omen of the Sun, pretty mediocre card, but when you flash it in to create 2 4/4 angels, turns out it's pretty good. Prison Realm, single target removal. The Fairy, of course, has to be in here. Now, you can counter decks with a lot of counter spells with him, but you can also bounce Oath of Kaya and Doom Foretold or other enchantments, for example, Omen of the Sun, to create 2 more tokens. So he has more than just the annoying synergy of your opponent's not able to play Magic anymore. He is some sort of utility as well. Great single target removal spell, ramp card. This, alongside with your commander, is your win con. You want to create 4 flyers, at least 4, then drop Sephara, everything is indestructible, you win the game. But you can also spark double this card to really use your enchantments as like the biggest engine you will ever see. We can do that because we have 15 enchantments in our deck and 6 artifacts. So 21 cards trigger our commander and 15 cards trigger the Archon of the Sun's Grace. So that's still really good. And if this card, it doesn't matter if this card creates 4/4 angels or this card creates 4/4 angels. It's like a backup plan, but also creating flyers for Sephara. It's just a really awesome synergy. Artifact that can also search the top 4 cards for an artifact or enchantment, which is really good. Sephara, one of the best angels there is. Awesome art. I love that card. It's one of my pet cards, so it has to be in here. But also creating 2 flyers when she dies for Sephara is really good. Conclave Tribunal, one of the best removal enchantments there is. And we can also tap our flyers we just created with Summoning Sickness. So this is just really strong. Doom Foretold, I don't know if it's a card you want to run, but I run it to get enchantments into the graveyard, because then we can create some 4/4 flying angels with Ephemia, and that's just really awesome. Alright, 5 drop slots. This is one of your main win conditions alongside Archon, Ephemia, maybe Red Hot Invasion. Yeah, I just messed up there. One of your main win cons, of course, turns all of your generated tokens into 4/4 angels, which is really strong. Really strong 5 drops here. With this, you can return a creature or planeswalker from your graveyard to the battlefield, and we have really strong late game creatures here. Dream Trawler, one of the best flyers. Liliana, one of the strongest commanders. Planeswalkers. And Ugin, a really great planeswalker as well. Sorry, for some reason I'm really confusing commander and planeswalker. But yeah, really strong top end. You want these cards are just in here, these 4, because they are standalone really strong cards that can win the game on their own. So just improving the overall deck performance Even though it's really greedy, these cards can bump the win rate significantly. And this is what you want to have on the battlefield after you have gotten 4 flyers down. So really, really sweet deck. A lot of synergy. I love how this deck plays itself, and I think you guys will love this deck too. So without further ado, let's jump right into the games that will come right now. Alright, our first opponent is Perilous Pit, playing with Kiora, Behemoth Beckner. And I don't know about this hand, to be honest. We can Spark Double Alela, but I mean, this is a really good card against Kiora, right? So, and my opponent is first. So we are on the defense. And on the defense, this hand is quite okay. Let's keep it, actually. We're going to scry first. We want a land. That's not a land. And then we're going to shock in the Eidolon of Obstruction. Hopefully delaying my opponent. This is a really good card against Kiora. Yeah, my opponent agrees that it's a good card against his deck. On 4, Guardian Project enters the battlefield. Alright, I think it's best to just smack face here and hold open the Disdainful Stroke. Because these don't really help us right now. We want to play those cards. Yeah. Yeah, we cannot let the draw engine be that crazy with Guardian Project and Beast Whisperer. That's just insane. Now we can even bounce. Now we can even bounce the Guardian Project. Which is really, really good for us.
Hey, I've got it.
My opponent has lost so much early pressure because of Eidolon. He would have played Kiora first. Oh, Guardian Project just replayed. And Incubation Druid. Alright, and a card draw. That's actually really, really good for him. We could bounce it again, but that would be way too greedy. Instead, we're going to start with Teferi Plus.
This might be a bad idea.
And we will drop our commander. We could attack here, but I rather... Yeah, we attack here, because if he adapts the Incubation Druid and attacks the Fairy, we let it through. We don't care. The only thing we care about is Alela. This has double synergy, by the way. It's an enchantment as well, so we should get a Fairy when we cast it. The Preserver with Reach, alright. Draw him a card. He can adapt and attack still. Because all he needs... Oh! Spark Double on what? The Preserver? Is that worth it? Maybe he's afraid of a lot of flying creatures coming in right away. But I'm afraid that's not how our deck is... I mean, yeah, in 3 turns there is a lot of flyers, so maybe he's just preparing a good defense against that. Yeah, we have Spark Double. We have a really, really greedy hand potentially here. Yeah, Teferi Plus first.
Let's try this.
We can play this and an enchantment, which will give us a lot of value. But we can also play this and an enchantment, which should give us way more value, right? Yeah, this is insane. Alright. 2 triggers, so 2 free one fairies coming down. And no attacks from our side. Now my opponent is on the back foot here. Really pressured into removing threats that we have. The only thing green can do that with is fighting something. And that would destroy the creature he fights with, because Alela has Death Touch. And we have a backup plan. We have Archon of the Sun's Grace. And Sun's Grace Archon is really strong as well. Alright, so her untapping ability costs something.
Kind of a big deal.
Yeah, so he paid to untap there. Drawn from Dreams, alright. So my opponent is probably searching for answers, so that means we have one more turn to really crank out some value here. And trust me, we will do that. Everything buffed by 2 attack is just insane. That's just really strong. Alright, so the Archon will enter here as a 5/4. We will remove one of the reach blockers here.
No, I am not making this up as I go.
Oh my god. Alright, that's just really nasty. Now we will remove the other reach blocker. Oh, baby! Yes, please. Destroy that, create another flyer. Oh my. And now we can just tap. 1, 2, 3, and 4, because these cannot attack anyway. Oh my god. This is just nasty. Nasty, nasty, nasty. Yeah, let's remove the Guardian Project. Oh my god. We have built... We have gotten our value. Let's say it like that. And let's swing with everything. Because we want to end this one now. With... Oh my god. So much value generated in one turn. This was an insane turn, but it's exactly what I wanted to do with this deck. And this was just a beautiful display of what this deck is capable of doing, man. Holy. Alright, our next opponent is Foreign, playing as another Kyoro. And with this hand, we do not have the power to delay Kyoro ramping. So, yeah, we maybe try it with this hand. We have a Doom Foretold and a Guild Globe to draw. Yeah, I don't know if we want to keep this. Let's take another mulligan. This looks way better. So let's keep this hand actually. And let's toss away the Tome of Legends. Or maybe not. Let's actually toss away the Doom Foretold. Yeah, let's toss away the Doom Foretold. So we will scry first. Frogify. I mean, we have so much removal in hand and we really want to hit our land drop, so let's toss it on the bottom. So Lovestruck Beast, alright, some pressure will be heading our way. No, we want lands. Second, this might be a mono green. No. Could this be mono green? Kyoro as a commander. Luckily we hit our land drop. And we will not play anything. I want to counter Kiora if she hits the battlefield. Yeah, so we try and counter that. It's just too strong. Like on 5 mana it's a little bit more balanced. In my opinion. Alright, and now we can even remove the the Paradise Root, which was a big mistake from my opponent here. We should have really used the Prison Realm for the Scry, because we want to hit the land. That's a big misplay on my part. On 4 mana there is no Kiora coming down. But Yorvo is. Yorvo is a scary, scary creature. But not if it's exiled under Prison Realm, so let's do that. We should have really used that last turn. There is a land, so keep that on top. Alright, we are in a losing position now because we really missed our land drops and I messed up with the Prison Realm. Alright, but we will drop Alela here. I think that's the best turn. And she will get countered. Getting a taste of my own medicine here. Alright, that was a really good counter spell for my opponent. And now we will start taking 6 damage, which is much damage. A little bit much. It's not the place where I want to be, but yeah, this game just turned out to throw us some rocks into our way to victory, or maybe our way to the loss, inevitable loss. Kiora coming down right now, no counter spell.
Don't mind if I take my octopus for a
Can
walk.
help us here. And Kiora will take her octopus for a walk. And we cannot do anything against that. We can remove her though. The question is, do we remove the Lovestruck Beast or Kiora? And I think at this point we remove Kiora. I mean the Lovestruck Beast, because taking 6 damage every turn is just too much. We cannot afford to remove Kiora right now. So this should help us a lot. Reducing total damage by 5 every single turn is probably good enough. This might be a Nyx Bloom Ancient, and if it's a Nyx Bloom Ancient, we are in some trouble. He costs 7, right? I think so. No, it's just Hydroid Crasis, which is really strong as well. Drawing crazy amounts of cards from my opponent here. Alright, we cannot play anything. That's bad news for us. Oh, we can transmutation this, but it stays a 5/5. Because the counters stay on it. It even gets a 6. It becomes a 6/6 even, so it would be increasing damage if we transmutation the Crasis right now. Yeah, we are in some trouble again. We hope for a land drop. Alright, Destiny Spinner, which means we cannot counter creature spells. And enchantment spells. I think my opponent has the lockdown here. I don't see us coming back here. And now if he plays a powerful creature, we have officially lost
I love to make a splash.
this round. Yeah, Feasting Troll King, and we cannot counter it, so we have no board wipes, so that's GG. GG, Thorn, you won that round. Let's continue to our next opponent. Alright, our next opponent is Zito, playing with a Rakdos list. I've never seen a Rakdos Brawl Commander until now. I really don't like this hand, so we are going to toss it away. This is an odd hand, but we can actually keep it because of Chromatic Lantern. But it's really risky because if my opponent bedevils my lantern, we're in a lot of trouble. But we are going full YOLO here. I'm going to keep this risky hand. Alright, we start off with a plains. Followed up by a plains. Alright, some aggro coming through here. Yeah, we just dropped the Eidolon of Obstruction here. That is a really, really strong card. We do not block. Alright. We have to discard a card. Which card do we discard here? I think Ephemia can go now. Alright, planes into Chromatic Lantern. Into an attack, because why not? Let's just trade back here. Rotting Regisaur, that's a big threat. Yeah, we don't want that to stay alive. We can play Alela here. I think Seraph of the Scales is the answer here, actually. No attacks, but we can give Seraph of the Scales Death Touch. Which means we just win against the Regisaur. And if she dies, we get the tokens. Alright. We will sacrifice the Eidolon here. Oh, an attack from my opponent. Alright. We will take that. Awesome animation into a really favorable trade for us. We are getting really close to having 4 flyers. Is all out tempo the play here? Or no? It might be. It might be the answer. So we are going to full greed for that again. Give us another flyer. Exile the Plague Crafter. And now we pray to the RNG lords that there is no board wipe. Yes. Yes, just like that. And now my opponent will surrender 100% because this is Seraph Sky Blade for 1 mana. We will tap all of these. Bam. Hello. And now we play Tome of Legends. We can even draw another card. But I think we will just pass for now. Now we see what we're... I mean, if my opponent is playing a lot of Edict effects... Yeah, I don't think so. We will even flash that in. You get nothing from me, my friend. Oh, we need to draw a card. So you will get a swamp to look at. I like it. And there is the scoop. So this is what the deck is optimized for, actually. A lot of stuff on the board, Seraph Flyers, Indestructible everything, and then we can even Spark Double Seraph or Alela. And that's just really, really sweet. The taste of sweet victory is really good. Alright, our next opponent is War Master Cat. He has the Elspeth but is playing Ashiok the Nightmare's Muse. And that is a really strong card. But we have him as well in our hand, so... This is a questionable hand, I'm gonna be honest, but I'm gonna keep it because of the invasion. The invasion might get out of hand because our opponent cannot deal with it effectively. And that might help us win the game. And yeah, banking all of my sheep in that small basket is really weird. But for some reason I think it's the right thing to do. We will force our opponent... Oh, we cannot attack. But we will play the fairy, forcing our opponent to use a counterspell. If he has one. He has no counterspell. And we will immediately get the value from the fairy, drawing a card. Alright. The half oracle. Alright, let's do it like this. So he takes the 2 lands. Tail's End gone. Alright. So he cannot counter my
Here we go.
command right now. Is this the time to drop Alela? Oh my god, I almost played the egg. I think this might be the time to just drop my commander. So we will do that. Opponent is fully tapped out. And we will not attack. The flyer count is officially 1. But we have Sephara again in our hand. Next turn we can drop Ashiok. Oh, unsummon and the fairy gone. And an unfortunate turn of events. I was holding back 2 blockers just for that reason. And a Frogify on my Alela. Which is really BM. For my opponent here. I guess we drop Ashiok then. And start creating some value for us. We swing with Alela here because we... No, actually we don't, because we can hold these 2 back and block an incoming attack here. Ashiok from my opponent.
I wonder if you're brave.
And he's creating some tokens too. We have actually the perfect play here. And the perfect play is pay 2 life. Drop Liliana. Sacrifice 2 creatures.
A little death never hurt anyone.
Put her in the command zone. So now she is free again. And now we can really punish my opponent. Return that to your hand.
You must be subdued.
And now exile a card from your hand. Oh, Mu Youngling is exiled now. Oh, and the counter spell is gone. That's actually really good. I like that. We have Liliana and Ashiok on the field now. And my opponent will have a really hard time to get back into this game. I think it's almost impossible. And he agrees, and he just scoops. So let's get into one more round here. Alright, our next opponent is A. Crowley. Playing with Ashiok the Dream Render. And we want the mulligan against that command. We want this card against that commander. So, hell yeah. We are keeping this. We are first, so that's really sweet. We want a black source of mana, because we don't have any. Alright, we draw a swamp anyway. So, yep. that just happened. Dreadhorde Invasion coming down. Alright, so we have two choices. We can play Teferi now, bounce the Dreadhorde Invasion, or keep open some mana to counter my opponent's next turn. Yeah, I don't know what's the right play here. I mean, if we can't drop the fairy and we don't do it, I think that's just a mistake. So we will drop the fairy now and bounce the Dreadhorde Invasion.
Stop. Here goes nothing.
It gains us so much tempo, and that's a really strong card against Ashiok. And Dreadhorde Invasion coming down, so that's really, really sweet for us. Perfect. We will drop the Eidolon here. It's a perfect card against what my opponent wants to do. We will pass the fairy.
Don't worry.
Pass turn.
I got this.
So on his turn, if Ashiok comes down, he needs to pay one to mill me. Murderous Rider on the Teferi, which is amazing for us because we don't need that card anyway anymore. Alright, we can be really greedy. And I think we will be really greedy now. I wanna greed so bad, and we will. We can actually drop our commander here. And that's a better move, I think. And we will smack with the Obstruction Eidolon. The good thing is we can counter his commander now. Or a blue spell. With 1 blue mana. Oh, and that's a good target, but sadly we cannot counter it because he has 3 mana open, but that would end his turn. So I think the right thing here is to attempt the counter. Him paying, because then he cannot do anything else on his turn. Alright, let's get the Divine Visitation here. Let's crack that open. And let's get a Plains. And let's smack with both of these. Because we can... He won't block any of those. And this was the last turn we can attack like that. Now Ashiok might hit the field and mill us, but no, it's just a Murderous Rider. No, it's Ashiok as well, so the milling will start. No, it won't. Why? So I think the... Oh my god. Do we drop the Divine Visitation? I think we do, because in the long run that will win us the game, right? Maybe Liliana here is the right play. I think she is. She is always. Just sacrifice to... Oh, he couldn't activate Ashiok because of the Eidolon. Yeah. So we will draw 2 cards. Remove the Frogify from my commander. Ugin on top. So we slowly assemble a Stranglehold here if Liliana survives. Oh! Ashiok is so strong.
Creeping, thieving progeny.
But the thing is, we will have way stronger tokens starting next turn. Because this will get out of hand really quickly. Oh, of course. Ashiok will start milling away. Ooh. Oh, that's so sad. Sadly, we cannot do what we want this turn. But we will create a 4/4 angel.
Smelly, but effective.
And we will draw a card. Oh! What a good card draw. Alright. So, Wishclaw Talisman coming down. Activating. What is he going to get? Oh my god. That's such a high risk, high reward card. What is it, Karn? Tyrant Scorn. Did he just tutor for Tyrant Scorn?
Your final.
Maybe he did.
I'll return where you slumber.
And Liliana will die, sadly.
My kin are delightful.
I think we have a chance here still. 2 lands off the top. Alright. So this will almost... Alright, so this will create 2 4/4s. We can flash that in. I think removing this Ashok is long overdue. This has to go. Do we want? Yeah, it doesn't matter. So we keep that on top that he thinks that is something we really, really want. When in reality, it's not. Is there something we want from our library right now that can win us? I mean, we could get Oath of Kaya and remove Ashok. But I think that's not necessary. I think it's really not necessary. We will just pass and hopefully be able to stabilize with Omen of the Sun. Yeah, so he fell for the trick. He still milled really good cards though. I'm sure he will attack into me. But we will play Omen of the Sun. And he lets that resolve, which creates 2 4/4 angels. Alright. So we will block off these 2 right now. This is just an insane... Oh! Craft Conarium. Alright. I don't have a problem with Cry there. In fact, let's drop Ashok ourselves. No. Disdainful Stroke. Activated ability. Triggered ability. Or legendary spell. So we can counter our own Ashok. Is Mystical Dispute gone? It is. We have Disdainful Stroke, Mystical Dispute. We have Dovin's Veto. But we cannot play that. Right? We can tutor Dovin's Veto into our hand for 1 mana. But then we miss 1, so... RIP. Ashok. Alright, and now... we can... No, if we activate we lose a mana, so... on 2 mana there is nothing I really want right now, right? So let's drop the tome. We have enough life to to stall this one out a little bit more. Alright, now that our library gets really small, so we have to start aggression now. Next turn we have to do something here. Alright, let's play the owl. A lot of really good cards are already exiled. Oh. This is a really good card to get here. And we will draw one more card here. Alright, it's an egg. Alright, so let's pass. Let's end the turn. I mean, that's a really scary card, but we cannot deal with it right now. What I'm concerned with is my library getting smaller and smaller. So I will counter that activated thing. So I preserve my library a little bit, otherwise I would have only had 4 cards left. Really good milling for us, actually. Alright, now we might have a chance. Gargoyle can do nothing. Alright, so we will take a lot of damage, but we might be able to do something. Our opponent has 10 life. We cannot afford to play her, which is so sad. Yeah, we just can't afford to do that. Alright, we'll turn this into a 1/1 frog. Alright. Oh man, starting next turn. I mean, what is left in our library? At this point, I don't see us winning if I don't use the tutor here. Oh, I cannot search my library. Oh no, now we are screwed. Because now my opponent can search his library. Ah man, that lost us the game. Yeah. Ashok really grinded us to death here. Oh crap. Oh, a land. Yeah. Ashok grinded our dreams, man. He smashed them. Really, really nice deck. I really like it. It was a back and forth. It was a pretty awesome game, I'm gonna be honest. But Ashok will dream render us to death now. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the games. Man, I cannot even talk anymore. Ashok just destroyed my hopes and dreams. And my library. Most importantly, my library. I hope you enjoyed this display of the deck, or showcase of the deck. Anyway, as you can see, it's not the strongest strategy. Maybe you could put in some board wipes to make it more resilient against aggressive strategies. But yeah. What a way to go out, just decking ourselves to death. What a sad day to play with Alela. No, actually we had a pretty good rounds of games. You can see how the deck can escalate really quickly. We showcased that. That's all I want, actually. And yeah, thanks for watching, and we will see us in the next one. Hey, Lenny here. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed it, you know what to do. Smash that bell, drop a like, and subscribe. Now I will leave you with a choice. The top video is my recommendation for you, and the bottom one is from YouTube. Now go check them out and tell me which one you enjoyed more.